was, as a small business owner my entire life, I've been working in the restaurant for 30 years. I have the experience of being able to balance a budget, make payroll, and be fiscally responsible, something that our elected officials in Washington apparently don't know how to do. We have a debt crisis ahead of us that the next generation, my children and grandchildren, will have to pay for by irresponsible growth of government and out-of-control reach into the private sector. So my experience in life is that I've been fiscally responsible both personally and professionally. And I could teach them a thing or two in Washington about how to spend the money that they have and not creating bigger government and more ways in which to tax us and to grow. As a business, we cannot grow our company unless we have the money to do it. That wouldn't be fiscally responsible. We have survived 7 recessions, and it comes from the knowledge and the hard work in the private sector that has taught us how to do that. And that is how we have to teach our government to live within their means. This is the greatest nation in the world. We should not be facing tax increases at the end of this year. You know, the more money we keep, the more choices we have. The more choices we have, the more free we are. So as a nation, we have got to stop this out-of-control debt, freeze all discretionary spending for the next 3 years, and be more sensible about the choices we make. Like I said, in my business, we've been successful because we take a simple approach. It's not really hard to understand. You don't spend money you don't have.
I believe the question was, what background do I have that would best be utilized in Congress and the oversight of our great economy? For the past 31 years, I started with a degree in economics from, at that time, was the 3rd best business school in the country, the University of Delaware. Dartmouth was number 2, Harvard was number 4 at the time. I cut my teeth on tax income policy called TIP, which now you now know that as a fair tax. It's a consumption type of tax. I studied some of the best minds, and I worked in the financial arena for about 10 years after that, which was my love. I've also worked in real estate development, understanding what it's like to create jobs, thousands of jobs. So I developed medical real estate throughout Florida, the closest project being right here on the Aventura Hospital campus, which is about 60,000 square feet. I understand what it's like to start a business from scratch. Assisted living, I started 12 years ago with 1 employee, me. I now have over 135. But most importantly, I also understand that it's more than owning a small business that makes a business. That was 15 seconds or time?
You can finish your sentence.
It takes more than owning a small business or working in a small business to understand this great economy. You have to have a global approach because we are the world's economy. I have that.
Well, I founded my own small business, a construction company, in 1982 when I became a licensed contractor. I still have that business today. I still work it today. And whenever we've had downs in the economy, we tighten our belt. I would bring the business principles, the same principles that many of you put into use every day. When you have a ruling elite that no longer represents us, they do what they want. What I would do is do what we all must do, and that is get out of the way of small business. What I would do is any bureaucracy that exists at the federal level that already exists at the state level, I would look to close those bureaucracies. They're unconstitutional and they're creating unfunded mandates to us, to the states. Get rid of them. That will free up more money for the government to do the job it's supposed to do, and that's protect us. Number 2, I would propose moratoriums on small businesses, less than 500 employees, moratoriums on fees, any regulatory fees. I would propose fees to stimulate investment in the economy.